We've just got here at the Chap Olympiad in Bedford Square. It's just started raining again, but hopefully it's not going to rain quite as much as it did on the way up here. At the moment, it looks like we've got some not playing tennis going on, although it could be anything, who knows. We're going to have a look around, see who's here, film a few of the events, and generally have rather a good time. So Sadie Doherty for the Vintage News. I'm here with Gustav, the editor of the Chap Magazine. How's the day going so far?
Splendid, thank you. It's been one of the best Olympiads ever. Partly because the weather has been forgiving, but you know, the Olympics coming up in London, you know, there's a real feel that we really belong here. Like the whole, all eyes are on us. We almost feel as if it defiantly showing our Olympiad to London, to show how it's really done, because obviously Stratford are going to get it all horribly wrong.
Oh, of course.
We got the call a few weeks ago saying, you know, from the Olympic Committee, would you like to come and do something at the Olympic Park? And I think lesser men would have sort of hesitated and said, I'll think about that. I just said yes, because I thought, what can possibly be wrong with doing the Chap Olympics at the Olympics? I mean, it's perfect. It's almost the perfect place for us to be.
Yes.
It's like the enemy within. We can work on the crowds from inside the stadium rather than outside the stadium.
Yes.
So it's a no-brainer, as they say.
You're being given a voice that more people will hear. What made you decide to run the event over the 2 days rather than just one this year?
Well, partly because the Chap Olympics has become such a big institution and it's so popular that we thought, well, we may as well extend it purely for that reason, to accommodate more people, and almost have a sort of festival atmosphere, although we hate festivals, obviously, being chaps. And obviously the Olympics of 2012 in Stratford made us feel that we should just do something more spectacular, more on a par with there. So that's why we went for the 2 days.
I was wondering, how has the Vintage Festival moving time and place affected the Chap? Because obviously they were going to put on a mini Olympiad. Is that still happening at the Wilderness Festival?
No, it isn't. It would have done, but the thing is that once you've committed to all the logistics for one festival, then you're told it's another date, you know, a month later. And also, I was concerned that because the Vintage will be now a small part of a bigger festival, which is all just like any other festival, I presume.
Yes.
I don't know, it's a festival, it's not a Vintage festival. I'm worried that our chaps would be sort of like a sideshow, like a bit of a freak show.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't feel comfortable. The whole point of Vintage was they were very comfortable to wander around and not be stared at. And
yes.
They were part of it.
You don't want to turn into a sort of novelty act.
Exactly. And I think that's what would happen if it was at Wilderness, if we were at Wilderness.
Thank you very much for speaking to us.
At all,
We'll let you
thank
get on with enjoying the rest of the Not Festival.
Yes.
Games were awarded to London. The chaps cried, and what? It's always been there. Forget Athens, the Olympic beginnings can be found in the oasis of Bedford Square. It's said that there brave chaps wave caps and then would take naps after feats of dandy flair. You can be there too if you follow the instructions. Pull up a handy chair and we'll begin your induction. Dispense with your trainer immediately. You need a good tailor. Leave it to me. Your running shoes must go to be replaced by brogues. So when you're faced by rogues, you shan't be off on your toes. No Heather Small going on about heroes or pride. No elbow crushing our opponents inside. We don't like effort or trying hard. And if you turn up in lycra, you're barred.
Light the Olympic pipe. Whether you're a heifer or a crimson tide, your dignity may be redeemed in a field of pleasant dreams. Light the Olympic pipe. Better you're a heifer than a slim fit type. Your dignity may be redeemed in a field of pleasant dreams. I've been training for the Chap Olympiad. There's no straining, that'd be simply bad. You may
ask what the decanter's for. It's the last jug of port from the moustache tug of war. I shall oust him in the umbrella jousting. I shan't sit here waiting while I'm butler baiting and stating a fact that a chap of such grooming will triumph and tact in the ladies' swooning. I'll astound them with my lack of menace, serving any gin when I'm not playing tennis. While Team GB may be pouting and boarding us, I shall win golding, shouting at foreigners. I'm in training for the Chap Olympiad. There's no straining, that'll be simply bad. Bring us your board, you're loose, you're sick, and we shall make them run and jump around a bit.
Light the Olympic pipe, whether you're a heifer or a grimsick type, your dignity may be redeemed in a field of pleasant dreams. Light the Olympic pipe, better you're a heifer than a slim fit type, your dignity may be redeemed in a field of pleasant dreams. Light the Olympic pipe, whether you're a heifer or a grimsick type, your dignity may be redeemed in a field of pleasant dreams.
Okay, here we are. It's day 2 of the Chap Olympiad. People are here. They're not getting rained on. Everything seems quite lovely. We had the cucumber discus earlier on. Now, there was one very slight moment that was a bit dodgy, whereby the cucumber discus itself actually managed to hit one of the camera crews. Luckily, not us. I'm not quite sure exactly what this event is, but there seems to be a large amount of casualties being ferried off to the Hospitality Medical Gin tent. Work that one out if you want to. Okay, it's all still going on. We'll see what we can find for you. Now, earlier on, you two duoed and managed to win the hop, skip and gin.
Yes, well, round of applause, Hopchester. It was actually I won the cucumber discus.
The cucumber discus?
Training for some years for this, and fortunately I won the event finally.
Now, I was watching that earlier on. I didn't see your particular entrance. What tactic did you take?
Well, I checked for the speed of the wind and the sort of general clemency, and I took a low sort of thrust across the field of ambition, and the sandwich stayed in place.
Okay.
Standing ovation.
Fantastic. So the hop, skip and gin, how did that play out?
Well, I thought the best thing to do with gin, of course, is not to waste a single drop. So
well, yes, very good
Miss
point.
Hanson so kindly assisted me. I deployed my glass into the said jug, and Miss Hanson kindly walked beside me, and at the very last minute I was able to hold up the glass, and Miss Hanson filled it to the brim.
Will you enter, please?
And
Now, I seem to remember that I was here at one of the other years,
Yes.
where Atters employed a butler and was disqualified for such.
Yes, but he used a butler, not a maid, you see. He had the whole social order completely wrong.
Right, okay, and that's what he ran foul of, was
And
it?
that was the problem, yes.
Okay.
And also, of course, I made sure Miss Hanson had a penny.
Well, you've got to be properly attired.
Exactly, and so there was no hint of any mispropriety on the field.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your goal for next year's then? Which event do you think you really need to
Well,
master?
I'm working on a second deployment on the cucumber discus. I think it's something I want to specialise in.
Okay.
It may need staff, but we're going to practice quietly. Yes.
Yes. Possibly some sort of long shoot.
I can't
kind of
possibly
thing.
divulge any of
No,
the
okay, obviously.
There's a
Yeah,
very
sworn secrecy, no doubt.
stiff competition. I don't want anybody to overhear us.
Excellent. Right, well, thank you very much for speaking to us, and no doubt we'll bump into you again later on in the year.
Indeed so, sir. Thank you, most kind.
Fantastic.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Thank you. Cheers.
Now, I've managed to waylay the Flirtinis, who are here today operating as our medical cover. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
So, could you introduce yourselves?
I am Nurse Demure.
She'd forgotten it.
I did.
Oh, dear. Yeah, well, absolutely.
So it's a bit worrying from a medical professional, can't even remember her own name. I am
Why we
Nurse
come
Favour.
together.
Right. Okay. So, now, I'm given to understand that your medical treatments today are involving gin to quite a large extent.
They are mainly alcohol-based, not exclusively gin,
Okay.
but mainly alcohol.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So how many people have you cured through the weekend so far?
Well, we've killed one.
We did
Oh.
kill one.
So I don't know if that means that our
Is there not going to be a
track
lawsuit
record is
there?
slightly...
He was very happy at the time.
Oh.
He died doing what he loved.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Now, yes, young Sadie's mentioned that you've made your dresses. So exactly how about do you go about doing this sort of thing? Because, I mean, have you based this on a standard uniform, or is it based on a vintage dress? Or?
This was based on my imagination more than anything, and a desire, after being asked to nurse at this event, not to be clad in PVC.
Which
I
was
guess
the
that would have been
alternative?
the
I'm not
lowbrow option.
entirely sure which era I would say they came from. The hats are probably quite
Later
40s.
Jurassic.
Excellent. So later on, then, I'm not sure if have we had the most violent events now.
no.
So which one are you figuring you're going to do?
Most
most
looking
work
forward
on?
to the tug of Tash.
The tug of Tash.
I think there's going to be a lot of injuries in the tug of Tash.
Oh dear.
I don't know. We've only got one stretcher, so we'll see how we go.
That's fair. And you have a cure or treatment lined up for that, do you?
Mostly just stretcher and crutch related. Crutch, not crotch, just to
Okay.
clarify.
And gin related.
Gin related?
Yeah, gin cures all.
Well, so they say. Luckily,
Let's
I've not
find
fallen
out.
ill to find
Mother's
out. so-
ruin. There'll be some weeping people,
Ah.
but they'll be alive.
Thank you very much for speaking to us,
It's a
ladies.
great pleasure. Thank
So,
you very much.
and where may we see you next?
Probably in that tent over there with
Oh,
the big cross on
okay.
it.
Right. Well, maybe if my cameraman has some sort of gin-based accident later on, we'll be needing your services.
Thank you very
He
much.
will
We will
be
see you then.
Cured with gin.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Or killed. One of the two.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, they've just announced the winners. Craigo was the gold medal winner. Congratulations to him. I'm going to make this quick because it's just started to rain, but we've had an absolutely amazing time over this weekend for the Chap Olympiad 2012. And I'm hoping next year will be a two-day event as well because it was brilliant this time round. It's the Silly Dotty for the Vintage News.
He's laughing.